Hi, my name is Casey and I'm an occupational therapist student at Cards University. In today's video, I will be debriefing this week's simulation. And the first question is to share what I've learned while completing this week's simulation. So the first thing was, not really learning, it was more reassuring to see the ICE video with Jay and Phyllis. I was reassured that the way I was completing and explaining assessments was exactly the way Jay was doing it in the video. And it's reassuring because I see that other experienced therapists are completing and explaining assessments the way that I am doing it. So I really enjoyed that the video and being reassured that what I'm doing is the right thing. And I'm completing it just like an experienced therapist is. It was very reassuring and I'm very happy about that. And then I learned how to do a complete research on the different resources available to clients. I feel that this is an important part of the whole therapy. Is just finding and providing resources for the clients. Because this is what essentially is going to help the client continue progressing with their goals and personal goals once they're discharged from the therapy. So the second question is, why is it important to understand the different community resources that are available to clients? And this falls under what I just spoke about. I feel that providing community resources is so essential because clients need to continue progressing and maintaining that good quality of life once they're done with therapy sessions. And the only way to do this is by, giving them the community resources they need to continue thriving in their environment. And for example, a person that can fall into depression, you can provide social support groups that helps promote a positive quality of life by increasing positive behaviors, as the clients will interact with other members of the group to promote or to have some support and some positive interactions. So definitely community resources is one of the most, if not the most important parts of the therapy, since they're not going to always be with you, the therapist, for the rest of their life. They need to be discharged and they need to continue their life maintaining that good quality of life. And the only way to do this is by having the resources they need to have in order to continue promoting this. And then the third question, if you have to choose, which assessment component is your favorite that you observed and why? So I don't have one specific assessment component that I enjoyed the most. In reality, I just love the interviewing part. So I guess the beginning, the interviewing, the presenting myself, the asking questions, starting a conversation, making the environment warm and comforting. I love interacting with patients. I love starting conversations. I like knowing about them, how they feel. So for me, it's the interviews. It's the presenting myself. It's the building a rapport with the patient. It's not really an assessment. It's more of the interviewing, establishing rapport, and trust. And then the next question is, if you had to choose which assessment component you observed do you find to be the most challenging and why? I don't find not one single assessment to be the most challenging, but instead remembering different measurements that you're taking with, let's say, range of motion, manual muscle. You're not just testing one muscle or one joint. You're supposed to be testing various. So I get caught up on conversations. I get caught up on making the patient feel comfortable and just speaking to them and not forget, but I do find it difficult to maintain focus on what measurement did I just take, and I need to write it down, and I just find that to be more complicated. I see that Jay was just completing the range of motion and manual muscle testing without a notepad, kind of. He was just testing and not writing anything down. So that's definitely one of my challenging areas, and I believe that as I get more experience, this will become less challenging. And so the last question is, as you notice, the PT and OT share certain assessment components. Um, what would you do in a situation where you, the OT, obtain different results as a PT during your assessment? And if for example, if the measurements were different, if they're just slightly different, we can understand that we did them correctly. Both of us did them correctly or measured them correctly. And I don't feel that it would be, or there would be a need to go back to the PT and say, hey, why did you get 100 and I got 99? In this scenario, I would just keep the results as is. And we know that people learn different ways to measure in different schools, and that's perfectly normal. But if the assessment results were completely and drastically different, then I would approach the PT and then ask how, or yeah, exactly how is it that they did it, explain how I did it, and then come up with a solution together to see who would have to reassess, or maybe together we can reassess, so that we can come to a conclusion on what measurement the patient actually had. So I would collaborate with the PT and have a simple talk about what is it that we need to do to come into a good conclusion, so that we can terminate the assessment in the most accurate way possible. So that's what I would do if I had different measurements than the PT. And so yeah, these were the questions for the simulation this week. I refreshed, I reassured myself, and again, I continue enjoying the videos being posted by Mrs. Reyes, and I hope that the next week there's more videos, because I'm definitely learning. I'm a visual learner, and I'm definitely enjoying how the therapists are providing therapy to the patients in their sessions, how they complete their sessions, what strategies they use, and how I can be more like them, more like an experienced therapist. So yeah, these were the questions, and thank you for watching my video, and have a good night.